Hello and welcome to Geekatplay Studio Tutorials. Let's look on other animation options we have it here. And of course, one of the most interesting and useful is animating sky and clouds. Let's take our main camera and point kind of more towards atmosphere. We'll go atmosphere editor, and inside the clouds right here we can go ahead and add a few clouds. What I'm just using dark canvas for the test. You will notice right below we have cloud animations. With these cloud animations, we can set directions, velocity, rate of change. Directions, it's where our clouds can move. So we can set in degrees. Okay, so let's go ahead, for example, set a 0, default. Okay, we also, if we don't set any velocity, the clouds won't move. So what I want to do is set velocity maybe about 135, and I don't want to modify any rate of change at this point, so let's click OK. Next, remember we set at a 0 degree, and right now I'm going to preview. So it's actually okay. Right here we'll add a keyframe. We'll move maybe about 3 seconds. We'll add another keyframe. Okay, and again, if you notice when we preview, you kind of see some changes, but again, it does not render that fast. So if let's go to move slightly, so you can see some changes is applied. And again, in directions, it's kind of helpful because you can see we going from left to right, from west to east, kind of in our camera position. So on X, so you can see our clouds moving this way. As well, if you look on atmosphere editor in 9.5, it's kind of helpful because now direction is showing you direction relative to your position. So if we're going left to right, it's this one. If we want to go, oops, I don't want to actually animate it. Let me go back to first frame. And if I want to go towards cameras, we'll go right here. Okay, let's click OK. And then again, you can preview our right here clouds. We can move just slightly ahead, and you can see they're moving towards the camera. So if you have it 9 versions, 9.5, there it's much easier now to see where the clouds moving by the orientation and directions. Okay, so velocity is changing how fast the clouds will move. Okay, our rate of change, currently the clouds will be same, the moving, but what's happening will effect of atmosphere distortion of clouds change the shape. Rate of change, this is change shape of the clouds. So if we increasing a little bit, our clouds will start changing more. So let's actually increase a little bit more velocity and rate of change. Okay, so we'll set this way. Okay, let's go again. And one thing you notice, if I was in the middle and I'm trying to apply some changes, it's pop-up screen and ask me if I want to animate the properties at this point. So it will set keyframe, and that property won't be animated till this keyframe reach, and after this property will animate it. So it's kind of nice. But if you want to apply the globally, go to first frame and apply changes there, so it will be applied during to all timeline. Okay, we change this one. I think it's very good time to go and preview, and I'm going to just set smaller one. I'll go on preview mode. So just this one, and I'm going to render. So it's take a little bit till you render an atmosphere, and overall it's actually going fast, but again depend on what resolution and quality you set. Again, remember I'm rendering this small resolution and then preview mode. If you decide to create a highest resolution and very large image, you need to expect some nifty render time. It's again, it depends on how heavy is your scenery. But again, we're using right now volumetric clouds with a truly calculating on particles, how the light going through the cloud. So it's not simulations. If we take going through the clouds, we see how in real world we're going through the cloud, how this will change. Okay, so I'm going to pause this tutorial for a little bit and come back when our render is finished. Okay, so right here we finish our render. It took 6 minutes. Let's preview what we have it. You can see we have the clouds moving. Of course, the quality is grainy. It's in preview mode, but mostly what I was looking on the rate of change. So you can see the shape of the clouds is changing. Also, the moving towards the camera. It's where we set our velocity and direction. This is one of the example. Okay, there also on the clouds, you don't necessarily can use this rate of change. You can go inside the material and you can go inside function production, and at this point you also, if you want, can animate to connect to the timeline. So we have it right here, so you can use the animations of the cloud, base it directly inside the shape. So you don't need it if you don't want it. You don't need use this rate of change, or you want to customize, maybe make animations going from one image to another. So this is one way to do it. Also, rate of change in shape, it may help you to kind of cycling, and I have some of those tutorials. They're available on Cornucopia, so you can download it there. It's where we look how to work with the shapes of the clouds. They're not total animations, but they do help. Also how to create growing storm and other options. A bit more work with the clouds and atmosphere animations. So be sure you check tutorials at cornucopia.com from Geekatplay. So right here we have it, our cloud animation. So let's click OK. We also, let's look on animation of the sun. And like all animations, I mean, this can be done very easy and simple. So we'll go on the first frame, we'll just move our sun. And this is one of the classics, so we can take sun way below. We can move to the last frame. We'll take our sun, move it up and animate it. And you can see how we can make animations, sunset or a sunrise with our clouds moving through. It's also a perfect way to maybe create some God rays going through the cloud. Okay, and right in preview you can see how we're animating. Of course, all the atmosphere settings, everything is animated as well, which apply to the sun. As we speak about animation, so we'll go right here, atmosphere settings, an example, the fog and haze, an example. We have it our fog on this set, so we'll go to the last frame, and we can increase some properties right at this point. Maybe even pop up higher. Okay, we'll go right there. So let's go like to the medium. And you can see how the our settings will be animated. Okay, I think right now it's not animated because it says do not animate atmosphere. So we need kind of right here uncheck this. So let's go ahead back to beginning, uncheck the forbid atmosphere animations, preset to normal. Okay, next we're going to the last frame, and again we are on the forbid atmosphere animations unchecked, so we allow this. And again, of the pop-up, I'll say yes, let's animate our all atmosphere settings. You notice I'm changing also colors, I'm changing all the settings right here. Okay, and again we'll do this, and we're moving, and you can see our settings at this point start changing as well. So right here, all adjustment. This is kind of nice because you can animate not just the position of the sun, but you can animate all atmosphere settings. For example, create from clear day to very hazy day, or other ways, increase your wind, also animation, all these other properties that will allow you to animate inside the atmosphere. So thank you for watching this tutorial from Geekatplay Studio, and please remember visit us on the web is www.geekatplay.com.